Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We're looking at PAWANKHInd. I thought that was PAWANKHInd for a second. PAWANKHInd. Is that PAWANKHInd or PAWANKHInd? What do you think?
I don't speak Marathi.
What do you think Google's gonna say?
PAWANKHInd.
Let's take bets. I'll bet you $10 it's gonna say PAWANKHInd.
Me too.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's no
fine.
bet.
No, there has to be a bet. You gotta take the other one. I said PAWANKHInd first.
Fine.
PAWANKHInd.
Bonk. All right.
It's in English. Do the Marathi.
PAWANKHInd.
Oh, I was right. I win $10. Why is there an extra A at the end?
PAWANKHInd.
I love the second Google Translate because it's always like, are you dumb? PAWANKHInd.
PAWANKHInd.
What does it mean though? Battle of PAWANKHInd is regarded as the last stand that took place on July 13th, 1660 at a mountain pass in the vicinity of Fort Vishalgad near the city of Kolhapur, Maharashtra. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. And if you're not, you know where to stick it. In a folder. Because most of you guys are students, right? Or doctors? Engineers? Engineers have folders, right?
Everyone can have a folder, Jaby.
I have a folder in my heart for you. Did you want to throw up a little bit?
A little bit.
I did.
I might have vommed in my mouth. Just a tad.
All right, here we go. Kindly use headphones.
आले आले गणी मखिंडित चौताळुनी आले झाले झाले सज्ज मराठे सरसावनी भाले संख्या दुप्पट रिपुची परिते निकराने लढती
Oh.
हर हर गर्जुनी समर रंगणी तुटोनिया पडती खडगाचे खणखणाट त्यामध्ये शर सणसण येती मारण मरणा वीण नेण ते वीर रणी रंगती
शिवाजी से निपटने के लिए सिद्दी जौहर को भेजा जाए तो?
गेले 4 महिने लेकरं पन्हाळगडावर अडकलेत. त्यांना सोडवायला जायला नको.
Oh. Get it, girl. Whoa.
इस बार शिवाजी बच गया तो तुम सबकी लाशें बिछा दो.
नका चिंता करू. माझा लेक आहे ना राजांबरोबर.
आता जातो आणि पन्हाळ्याचा येडा फोडून
कसम लेते हैं कि शिवाजी महाराज को छुड़ा के लाएंगे. अरे राजांचं शिलेदार आम्ही. आमच्या रक्ताचा रंग एकाच. भगवा
Whoa.
बाजूला व्हा. गडावर पोहोचल्यावरती तोफांचे 5 बार द्या. तोपर्यंत या घोडखिंडीत अडकून ठेवतो गनिम. अकेले खड़े हो. हट जाओ वरना कीमा बना देंगे.
I ain't going nowhere. Get lost. That was a substantial trailer.
Yeah.
Around the time that
Wow.
I thought I was gonna wrap up, it had another minute and a half to go. I'm like, oh, okay, we still. We got more trailer here.
I'm always fascinated by historical dramas, and so that aspect of it is interesting me and drawing me in.
I think I would agree with you. I'm very intrigued by historical dramas as well, especially like Indian history, because it's easier to digest, you know, a film, a narrative of some kind that you're following over the course of 2 or 3 hours than reading a Wikipedia article or watching a documentary, you know, for hours and hours on end. Definitely a lot more engaging when you have characters that you're sort of following on their journey and seeing how they fit into this grander story.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so saying that, all of that stuff, the historical aspect of it is really fascinating to me and it's drawing me in. I have mixed feelings about what I'm seeing here in terms of the trailer, and maybe it's indicative of the film as a whole. But sometimes I thought the shots were really cool. Like, I loved all of those aerial drone shots of the fighting, because, you know, you really get a sense of the scale of what's happening here, like how many people and the terrain that they're fighting on. And it's kind of like, not only is it a battle against an enemy, but also you're doing it in this terrain which doesn't really lend itself well to fighting, I guess, because they're like bogged down in the river, in the rain, whatever it is. Sometimes the shots I thought were really dramatic and interesting, and then other times I thought it looked like I was watching a soap opera. And so there was this kind of discrepancy between the two styles that I was seeing there, and it was just kind of making me feel a little bit funny about it.
I used to get criticized on my channel for making comparisons to 300 a lot, but there is a similarity between this and 300 and what's it called with Bradley Cooper? What's the name of the movie called? Clint Eastwood movie. I love that film too.
The one where he's American Sniper.
American Sniper, thank you. The one where he's a sniper and he's American.
And he's American.
Yeah. Yeah, American Sniper.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my God. Figured it out.
The thought process happened.
What 300 and American Sniper has that this also has, what the main driving force here that I'm seeing is a lot of chutzpah. You know, it's just this very like bravado strength kind of thing. And
yeah, it's like they may outnumber us.
Hyper patriotic kind of feeling to the whole thing. I didn't quite catch the shots that you're talking about that are like super pretty and whatever. What I was seeing was a lot of posing, and it kind of bothered me in that way. Like, that's what bothered me about 300 when I watched it. Like, people, as much as I talk about it, people must think I love the movie. I don't. Like, I had a lot of issues with the movie 300.
Yeah.
The easiest word that I could think of is a lot of posing. It's like, we're not really watching a battle. We're watching a massacre. Even though Spartans are punching upwards because they're being attacked by the Persians.
Yes.
It just felt like I was watching a bloodbath where the Spartans were just ripping through the Persians.
Well, also because the Spartans are well known to be extremely capable warriors.
I understand. Same with the Marathi warriors here.
Yes.
Right? I get that. But it's like after 2 hours, I think I got the point. They're badass. Like, that's a footnote I get, you know,
Definitely,
as opposed to...
they showed that.
Yeah.
Like, I understood that from this trailer.
As opposed to a drama where I'm feeling the highs and lows, the hills and valleys of characters going through something. When I was watching 300, I just felt like they were literally moving up the mountain unstoppably. Yeah, is that a word? They were unstoppable. That's what it felt like.
Until they got stopped.
Until they got stopped, but it just felt like they sort of like turned in. They're like, okay, we did it.
We tried.
Yeah.
You know, there were only 300
Not
of
we
us.
tried. Not we tried. Like, I think we can die now. So, like, it felt like that as opposed, because it's like, what? Look at all the things you did before this. Why did you die here? You know what I mean? That's sort of what it felt like to me.
It was relentless, though. You know what I mean? Like, they put up a really good fight. And that's the whole point of this as well.
It just didn't feel like they were losing at all, is what I'm trying to say. And here, I got the same sense where it's like every single thing was just like them just, it was a shot where the Marathi warrior was in the center and just cutting the guy down. And I'm like, all right, well, I get it. Like, they're badass. You've shown me that.
Yes.
But what is the hurdles? I get the big hurdle, but what are the personal hurdles for these characters as they go through these battles?
And maybe that's something that will get explored in the movie,
sure.
right?
That's entirely possible, but that's not what they're
showing that in
That's not what they're selling me on. What they're selling me on is the chutzpah, them just kicking ass and not taking any names. Get lost, guy.
Yeah, like all the invaders. I think, you know, what did we see there? We saw Brits, we saw Mughals, right? Mm-hmm. Am I even saying that correctly? But, you know, like a lot of people who've
Mowgli's. I'm sorry, that was a joke. I couldn't help myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, but a lot of people have in the past tried to take over India. And so, this is just, I guess, a story of a very formidable people, a very formidable person who protected the land.
Let me clarify something that I said very briefly earlier, because I love the movie American Sniper, but not for the reasons that you think. It has nothing to do with like this American machismo or yeah, America kind of thing. Like, I find that hilarious. That's why I love the movie, because it's accidentally like fun. Because of that, it's like I don't actually feel that way.
Yeah.
Of like, America, world's protector, Iron Man or whatever. I don't actually have that sentiment. That's why I find the movie like entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just entertaining to me. That's why I watch this. I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's dope that Indians have these films where they're like, it makes them feel proud of their warriors. That's awesome. But I still, even within that, I need to feel what their personal hurdles are. Like you said, it may just not have been revealed here, but the whole trailer was them kicking ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I understand.
I fully expect to see a lot of ass kicking.
It's 3 minutes of them kicking ass. I'm like, I understand. I get it. They're badass. The point has been made. The personal struggles or whatever that is, who these people are, is more of a footnote in the trailer. It's like, yeah, they're people. By the way.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully in the film, you would get to see more vulnerable moments, perhaps, where they're saying, I'm actually I'm scared going into war, but because I love you and I love my country more, I have to do this thing. That's interesting. Or like whatever difficulties they have to overcome, or, I'm leaving my family behind, knowing full well I may never see them again. In order to protect them, I have to do this.
Yeah, I think the thing is, with the way you're portraying these characters, and same in 300, it's almost like in terms of their, I don't know what you call it, their
internal struggle.
What is courage? What is courage?
Courage is doing the damn
but
thing,
like,
even though you're scared.
I know, but what is courage? Like, what is it a function of? Courage is the opposite of fear. And those are emotions, right?
Cowardice, yeah.
It's almost like characters like in 300 or this have this like armor around their emotions is what it feels like. And so you can't show them having any sort of fear. You can't show them having any sort of like wavering concern or trepidation because they're these kinds of warriors. It's
they're
like
superheroes.
They're basically superheroes, right?
Yeah.
And so that is cool in some regard, but like when you're watching a story about people, it becomes difficult to sort of like relate to that.
Yeah.
I guess that's my main concern in going into this. I just hope that over the course of presumably 3 hours, we get to know these people and they feel like people. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you won't know until you watch the movie.
Sure. Again, though, like even the broad strokes of it could be quite intriguing just from a historical standpoint. Like you're watching history in the most epic way possible. When you're reading about a character in history, you're probably not connecting with them like you would in a fictional book or a non-fictional book, but like a story, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like they're just a name and this biography of like what they went through, as opposed to like, who is this person?
Like really putting yourself in their shoes and feeling the emotions that they might be feeling.
Yeah.
It makes them seem more real to you.
Exactly. And so here, it's somewhere in between is the sense I'm getting. Assuming that this is accurate to history, it's like, it's not quite the depth I would be getting with another film that's like really focusing on the characters, but it's also not quite just history text. It's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
If that makes any kind of sense. That's the sense I'm getting. And so with that in mind, just to get the history of the ongoings of India, like what happened, that's cool. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.